Want to resolve the experience of not following through on things? This is Hypnotherapist Isaiah McGee. The idea of not following through, your motivation wanes, and engagement and exercise program starts off with a bang, and you're really interested and you're really committed and you're really participating. And then you find that excuses come in, or your motivation begins to wane or is diluted. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks into your exercise program. And then unfortunately, you blame yourself for not having the resolve, not having the commitment, not having the willpower, not having the discipline. In actuality, I'd like you to look at this more from a physiological place rather than the narrative of you lack discipline, willpower, or commitment. And from a physiological place, I'm going to introduce a word to you in the context of my support of you here, and that word is novelty. That's right. When your brain is absorbing something new, beginning in an exercise program, re-engaging in an exercise program, your brain is absorbing that information, and because it's novel, it's new, it is really super on board with engagement and participation and remembering to continue to engage the task or the activity because of the novelty of it, the newness of it. However, physiologically, your brain is absorbing countless bits of data in every moment. Not just the things that are relevant or important to you or the particular things that catch your attention in a moment, but your brain is constantly absorbing data about the present moment, about the environment, the weather, the temperature, the carpet or the lack of carpet that you're walking on. Your brain is absorbing all of that information, and to it, it's just bits of data. And so even your information about beginning an exercise program is bits of data physiologically to the brain. So the brain, because it is absorbing constantly, it says, okay, the information I absorbed 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I've got to let that recede into the background of my awareness and therefore relevance, because I've got to absorb all the new information that's coming in. Now, what you tend to do is to blame yourself for lack of discipline or focus, and I'd like you to look at it as more of a thing of the novelty of something has worn off. And that's okay, because as I said, it's a natural process for your brain to make room for new incoming information. So you don't blame or judge yourself because the novelty wears off. Here's what you do. You allow yourself to remind yourself of the relevance of something or the importance of something, not as a discipline, not as a judgment, not as a guilt, but so that it brings something that has receded from novelty, it brings it back to the forefront of the frontal lobe here. And so then your mind reactivates the relevance of something. So again, in 4 weeks after your exercise program, you've noticed that you've begun to wane in your enthusiasm, your engagement with it. You remind yourself of why you decided to engage it in the first place. You remind yourself of the engagement and the activities of it. And in that reminder, what you are doing is you're bringing that information back to the forefront of your mind, to where your brain activates the novelty of it again until it turns that dynamic. Your exercise program, using that as an example, could be following up on a financial strategy, if you will. Whatever it is, once the novelty wears off, you bring it back to the front of your mind without any blame or judgment about that process, and then you reactivate the novelty of it until you then begin to wire it into the brain as a habit. Once it's been wired in as a habit, you then find yourself not needing to depend on or rely on the novelty of something. This is Hypnotherapist Isaiah McGee.